Hello and welcome to LFC Focus. So Liverpool have just announced the signing of Fabinho from Monaco. It's come from absolutely nowhere. You know, I think it was about 8 o'clock this evening that Paul Joyce tweeted suddenly that Liverpool had serious interest in the player, that a bid was apparently on its way or something like that. I can't remember the exact wording, but obviously as soon as you see that, as soon as you see it's Paul Joyce, you know that it is legitimate. You know that this is something that Liverpool are really going for because he is a very reputable journalist on all matters Liverpool, especially in the transfer market. And then by 9 o'clock the club had announced it on their Twitter account. So yeah, that happened very quickly. I mean, obviously it's a surprise that this has come out so suddenly, but I don't think it's necessarily a surprise in the way that it's happened. You know, this is very much how Liverpool have conducted their transfer dealings since the Virgil van Dijk saga. You know, they've been very careful in terms of how they reveal information to the press, how they get things publicised, how they potentially, you know, leak rumours and things like that. I mean, you look at the Keita deal, we knew Liverpool were into him, but the actual deal that got made was a bolt from the blue. When we finally signed Van Dijk, that basically came out of nowhere as well. So that's kind of how Liverpool seem to be doing things now. Obviously, this very much fits that kind of mould. The Fekir one is slightly different, although a lot of the noise on Fekir is obviously coming out of the French press rather than the English press, so we're kind of staying true to form on that one as well. I might do a little bit on Fekir later if I've got time, but obviously the main news is on Fabinho. He has apparently, well, I mean, not apparently, it's been confirmed by the club. We've seen pictures of him in a Liverpool shirt and everything like that. He has agreed what is apparently a 5-year deal to be at the club with a fee of 45 million euros, which is just under 40 million quid, with add-ons of 5 million euros as well. So rising to 50 million euros, which is just under 45 million quid. Not a bad fee when you think about it, especially given that when Monaco had their kind of fire sale last summer and lost a lot of their very good players, they were going for significantly higher prices. And, you know, during that time, after Monaco had had such a brilliant season, winning the league title up against PSG and also getting to the semi-finals of the Champions League, despite being, you know, not one of the bigger names on the continent or anything like that, playing excellent football as well. You know, Fabinho was hardly, you know, an overlooked figure there. He was very much seen as one of the key cogs of that Monaco side. A lot of people were interested in him last summer, but obviously Monaco lost so many players. They didn't want to lose all of them. So I think it could potentially be a good bit of business, you know, for Liverpool. Obviously, I'll be honest, I don't know a huge amount about Fabinho. I know that he's a central defensive midfielder. I know that he was quite key to that Monaco side, as you'd imagine a number 6 type of midfielder is in a title-winning side. So I think that kind of fee is good for him, especially in today's market for a potentially top-class midfielder. As for where he'll actually play at Liverpool, I think it's going to be a very interesting one because obviously when we're looking at the number 6 position, I think if you're bringing someone in, they've either got to be significantly better than Henderson to take that role off him. And despite what many people say, I think Henderson is a very, very good number 6 for Liverpool. Or they've got to be around about his level and we're looking at something a little bit more rotational. And despite the fact that, like I said, it represents a very good deal, I think the price tag, it could also suggest that maybe this guy hasn't been brought in as like an overriding replacement for Jordan Henderson. Could he be rotational? Could this be, you know, that he's in a different role or Henderson's in a different role? It will be very, very interesting to find out. It's also noteworthy that he is apparently capable of playing right back as well. I certainly don't think that's where Liverpool will be deploying him full time, what with the rise of Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it could represent a good bit of cover next season. Obviously, I think if Gomez is moving central, Alexander-Arnold is your main right back, and at his age, you know, 19, 20 years old, he's not going to be able to play every single game week in, week out. So it would make sense to occasionally drop Fabinho into a right back position. I mean, in terms of the amount of games that we play as well, it is obvious that Jordan Henderson is not going to be able to play every game this next season. No one can. That's just the state of the fixture list, and definitely not Henderson because he does have a slightly iffy injury record at Liverpool. I think when we rely on him a little bit too much, he can tend to get crocked, and it does sometimes take him quite a while to come back as well. So it is possible that Fabinho and Henderson could become an entirely rotational thing. I mean, if we are resigned to losing Emre Can, then Henderson's our only number 6 left, so we do need some more cover in that position, and I think Fabinho represents a very, very exciting option there. I mean, the main thing to take away is the fact that even if you know nothing about Fabinho, or even if you don't think he's very good, or if you're worried that because the price tag isn't, you know, Pogba level, he's not going to be good enough for the Premier League or anything like that, I mean, Jurgen Klopp and his transfer team, and Michael Edwards in particular, they know how to pick a player. They've proved that since Jurgen Klopp has come in. I don't think Liverpool have really put a foot wrong in the transfer window, certainly in terms of the players that they've brought in. I think maybe, You could argue that Steven Corker didn't really go to plan when we brought him in, but that was hardly going to be a long-term signing, was it? That was very much a short-term thing. Apart from that, pretty much every single player that Liverpool brought in has at least been worth the money spent and has at least fulfilled the kind of role in the squad that I think they're expected to when they were brought in. So whatever they've got planned for Fabinho, I trust them, you know, and I think that's going to be the theme going through the summer transfer windows. Whoever Liverpool buy, having seen what they've done in the past and, you know, bringing in players like Andrew Robertson, he's like the sort of case study of what happens when, you know, we're a little bit worried about a signing. It's not so glamorous. We're not sure that, you know, the transfer committee have got this one right. We're worried that we maybe need to get a better player or a different type of player. The transfer committee and the signing of players like Andrew Robertson has proved that actually they absolutely know what they're doing. So, I mean, if they think Fabinho's good enough for Liverpool, they thought Salah was good enough for Liverpool, and we paid a similar price for him. So, I mean, if he can turn out half as good for Liverpool as Salah did, then he'll be an absolutely excellent piece of business. So, yeah, very exciting stuff. Really exciting that we've already got the summer transfer window going. Obviously, that's kind of bit to be expected with the World Cup coming up so close to us. You know, it's going to be that most of the transfer dealings will be done and dusted before then, maybe a few afterwards, but obviously the window closes very soon after the World Cup as well. So I think most of the deals that Liverpool are going to look to get over the line will probably be done within the next 2 or 3 weeks, which, you know, for us as fans is an incredibly exciting thing because we always like to see new players coming in. As for other rumours, like I said, the Fekir thing has slightly quietened down. That might just be because Liverpool have sort of let the Fabinho thing take centre stage for a bit while they've been wrapping that deal up. The Fekir thing's slightly died down. I think now that Fabinho's wrapped up, now the final's out the way, now we're really going to see Liverpool get their teeth into this move and try and get it over the line. I mean, Fekir said in an interview that he wasn't necessarily close to a move to Liverpool, but I mean, none of us really thought he was because obviously Liverpool weren't going to open negotiations until after the Champions League final. But we know that Lyon are open to sell. They're going to look to get a good fee. Obviously, they don't want to sell him for buttons, but they are open to the idea of losing Fekir for the right price. And it seems that Liverpool are in some way interested in him. So hopefully we can see that deal progress over the next few days and weeks. Fingers crossed and that can get done. I mean, he's playing for France tonight. Apparently, he's already scored, so that's fantastic. I mean, I forgot the game was on, if I'm perfectly honest, so I've missed it, which is a shame, but good thing that he's doing well, I suppose. Elsewhere in transfer rumours, obviously the goalie question is a big one. I'll be doing another video on this because after the Champions League final, how can you not? And obviously there are so many names being thrown around at the moment. Alisson and Oblak were mentioned in the Daily Rimmer today. Daily Mirror, not the Daily Rimmer, but yeah, the Daily Mirror said that Alisson and Oblak were two big targets for Liverpool. There've also been rumours coming out of Italy that we're still, you know, interested in Donnarumma. There's never really been anything concrete about Donnarumma. Obviously the Mirror said that there was something like a 60 million bid being touted about a week ago, but nothing's really come of that. So that's one that seems slightly more lower on Liverpool's transfer radar, but it is definitely one to be watching out for. And I will be making a video on not just what I think Liverpool are going to be doing, but what I think Liverpool should be doing with the goalkeeper question as well. So do stay tuned for that. Apart from that, I think that's all the transfer news for the moment. So yeah, Fekir should hopefully get moving over the next few days. Very interesting to see what happens with the goalkeeping situation. But the big takeaway from tonight is Liverpool have made their first summer signing of the summer transfer window, and it is a very good one because it is very much a player that we needed to bolster our midfield. So that is fantastic. Here's to some more brilliant summer transfer news between now and the end of the season. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button there if you're new around here. Check out some of the other videos that have been out on the channel over the past few days as well. Don't forget to follow at LFC Focus TV on Twitter, and I'll be back in the next few days with some more transfer news and gossip. Bye for now.